Hello everyone. Today we're going to be discussing Crafting the Character Arc by Jenny Jarvis, a practical guide to character creation and development. This book has 3 parts, so the series will have multiple videos. Some may be longer than others, and we're not going to be discussing every chapter in the book, but if you'd like, I do have a Discord link in my YouTube profile and we can discuss it there even more. To start it off, we're doing Part 1, Understanding Character. I am skipping Chapter 1 because this is just an introduction to the book and it's called Why Another Character Book. But I personally think this book, even if it's from school, it's one of the best books that I've read so far about creating characters, so we're just going to go ahead and skip that one. So in this video, we're going to be discussing the Disney movie Frozen, the Netflix series You, and another Netflix series called BoJack Horseman. The chapter in the book starts off with the following quote, so stay with me because this is kind of a ramble, but trust me, there's a point to it. For writers, character is just a combination of traits, morals, personality, and attitudes that make up the individuals who exist within our stories. These attributes are revealed by how the individual overcomes the barriers and surpasses place in his or her way. Character is a means to relate our plot to the reader or viewer, allowing them to experience the world of the story in a way that provides them with some kind of experience they wouldn't normally encounter in this life. Even if we ignore the question of good versus evil, it's still difficult to select a single protagonist for Frozen. Both sisters have wonderfully active and defined goals. Elsa wants to protect her sister from the power of her magic, and Anna wants her sister's friendship back. So in the end, they both win their goal at almost the exact same time. So how can you tell who the protagonist is, and who is the antagonist? Remember, the protagonist is the character whose actions most directly drive the plot. In this film, the plot is a sister journeying to the snow in order to make amends and save her city. Therefore, Anna is the protagonist and Elsa is the antagonist. This gives the title of villain to another more minor character, the two-faced Prince Hans. So moving on from that, we're going to start goals versus needs. This one is kind of my favorite topic a little bit because even without following the book, we can bring in a lot of examples at just the top of our heads for this one. In the Netflix series You, our main character Joe's goals vary every season and it gets a little complicated every time. He needs to have more self-control when it comes to picking out who he keeps in his life. He has this absolute nasty habit of justifying his habit of stalking people to get to know them better after he's built this fixation about this person, and uses what he finds on social media plus the conversations he has with himself to get closer to the person of subject. What he actually needs to do is admit to himself that sure, he's not inherently a bad person, but he needs to turn himself in and get help with his childhood trauma, sexual addiction, and everlasting want to find love in someone that's obviously a little bit too messy, which is another one of his addictions, the whole I can fix her mentality. Another great example of this is BoJack Horseman. BoJack's goal of making sure no one can get close to him emotionally gets impeded by his need of actual comfort from people who love him and know what he really needs and wants, even though he can't admit it to himself at the times where if he did, he'd probably be in a better place in life. Princess Carolyn needs to not work so much, and she buries every heartbreak and day of boredom down under so she can work more and try to forget about how alone she actually is. So we're going to move on to craft your character, but we have some questions we have to ask ourselves. Who is your protagonist? Is your protagonist active or reactive? In what ways would your audience see themselves or someone else in this character? What is this character's goal? Does this character have any emotional motivators? Oftentimes when we start writing our character, we're going to start thinking about the goal versus motivation method. And that is that the goal is something this character is working towards for the future, while a motivation is pushing you forward from the past. If your main character is trying to keep another character alive, that is their goal. If a main character is trying to get away from someone who's trying to kill them, they have a past instant most likely that keeps them going. This doesn't apply to all random characters. Let's say a serial killer is just trying to go after random people. This doesn't apply to that person that the killer is going after until it does, because that's how you wrote it. So this is just a quick introduction to crafting your character, and if you want to talk more about ways to get this theory of character shaping into your blank pages, you can either comment below or join the Discord, and I'd love to see you there. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video enough to like and subscribe to support the channel, and I will see you in the next video.